Good morning. Wow, I look like an egg. Yes, I have news. It is Whit Monday, which is a free day for Denmark, therefore a free day for me. And believe it or not, last week Cardi B stopped being broody after a whole week of being broody. So I had a really busy weekend, and I was really hoping that Cardi B would stop being broody by the end of the week, but like before I went away for the weekend. And fortunately, she did. On Thursday, on Thursday evening, I was too lazy to put the entire cage back inside for her to sleep in. So I let her out and just put her on the roosting bar with everyone else. And by some miracle, on Friday morning, she was out and about with everyone else and not broody, which was incredible. So she was broody for an entire week. I guess the trick that broke her broodiness was the 4 times a day cold baths for her. And by the end of it, she seemed to really enjoy them, I think, because she would go all like into them, and like she was really chill with them. So I'm super happy that Cardi B is not broody anymore. I hope that she will go broody in time for the June 22nd chicks that will arrive, so that I can make her the mother of those chicks, because she is the most likely hen of mine to go broody by that time again. But we'll see about that. That's far in the future. And yes, that's the chicken update. And while I've been away, the garden has been absolutely thriving. Last time you saw me, I was putting down the late potatoes, but I only managed to do one row because I started feeling really weak, because that's what I feel like when I'm about to start my period and during my period. So I'm just feeling generally really weak, and I will see how much gardening I can get done today, but I would still like to do some. But while I was away, all my beans sprouted. So the garden is being very delightful. But what I wanted to do today is, before it gets too hot in the day, I wanted to plant some of the plants that I have into the greenhouse. Finally, I'm so hyped to do that. Now, today I'm putting down the cucumbers and the tomatoes, because I forgot my peppers in the city, because I brought some plants to my mom and then I forgot the plants there, so my dad's gonna get them for me sometime this week later on. So those are getting planted later. But today we're doing tomatoes and cucumbers. Unfortunately, what has happened to my tags in the daylight is a little bit difficult to read, but I hope we can make do. And I'm giving all the plants a handful of tomato fertilizer, because fertilizer is fertilizer and they need it because they're probably very brood bound. I'm going to start with cucumbers, and I have 3 different kinds slash breeds of cucumbers, and I want the corvetta to go on this side. I'm going to do, because I have 3 rows in the greenhouse and I have 3 types of cucumbers, I'm going to try to separate them into the rows. Okay, and now for fertilizer. Okay, let's see if I can determine where which cucumbers are. Okay, these in the edge are corvetta. Come on. Yep. Really, really root bound. that, this plant got indoors are a bit sunburned from being outside and getting used to the outside sunlight. But the new leaves are completely beautiful and perfect. So these are going to be the ones that actually make the most out of the cucumber plant's life. Now here's the corvetas all planted nicely, and I left the nice sign into their fold as well. But now I need a break because it is quite warm and I feel like crap and I hate periods. So now I'm just going to sit in the shade of the greenhouse until I no longer feel like throwing up. I just figured I should keep it real that I am not a perfect gardener, I do not have a perfect body, and everyone struggles in some ways, and this is how I struggle often. Okay, feeling slightly better, so in the middle I want to plant the cucumber that is called Romara. And somehow the soil is once again really dry, so I'm going to have to do one of the deep waterings again soon, or once I finish planting for the day. I'm trying to work fast so that I can get the largest amount planted before I get a sick feeling again. So I'm trying to raise my health issues. Okay, and that's the Romaras done with one casualty. And in the last corner we will have the cucumbers called Edmar. Of course we have fresh weeds all over the place. Oh, this one has 2 plants again. Another casualty. Wait, where's the fertilizer? Okay. And now I have to rest. And now for a break, and then the tomatoes, if I have the energy for them. The strangest part about gardening when you're on your period and feeling like crap is that it feels like gardening when you're hungover, because like, you know that like if you were a sim, then all your needs are high. Like, I have slept 11 hours, I have had a good breakfast, and like I should be like ready to go and do stuff, but yet you feel absolutely disgusting, like you're going to collapse or throw up or both. That's what it's like for me now. In any case, I ran out of my solid fertilizers, so I am using the liquid one instead, which is more annoying because then I have to haul the watering cans all the way here with the liquid fertilizer, but at least it's in fresh open air, not in the greenhouse where it's just very warm. Not like hot yet, but it would be great if I could plant the tomatoes before it gets really hot. Okay, we are more than 4 hours in, and I have absolutely outdone myself this time. My dad came over for a while, and he also brought my missing plants, so actually I just managed to take incredible amount of breaks and just planted everything in the greenhouse. So we have the cucumbers in the 3 different rows in the beginning here. And then we have the cherry tomatoes in that row interspersed with basil. The big tomatoes in the center interspersed with basil, and all the peppers. Literally the entire greenhouse done. Now I just have to do the deep watering with the hose, but that's like the smallest thing to do, and I am so glad that I got this done. I wanted to do this like 4 days ago, but I ran out of time and couldn't do it, so now I'm like semi caught up with my garden. I'm going to say that if I have energy in the evening when it's cooler, I'm going to continue planting the potatoes, but I'm not going to make solid plans yet because this took a lot out of me. Actually did some makeup today, despite all odds, and actually managed to do one more row of potatoes today after work. And I also planted my teeny tiny beetroot seedlings, which I hope survive. I direct sowed them last year, so we shall see how they survive. But unfortunately, I don't have the energy to dig any more potato rows today because I'm hungry and I still need to make dinner, and life takes a lot out of you when you have chronic illness that just limits your energy severely. Today it is time to clean out the outside area of the chicken coop because it's getting a bit stinky, and I have my new rake because the old one broke, which is good for raking the poop. So we scoop the poops like it's a cat, like it's kitty litter. And the girls get to go outside. So inevitably I will take this to the compost, and the compost is going to include a lot of sand because I can't really sift it that efficiently, but it's a great method for keeping the outside area of their sand run nice and clean. potato row that I dug yesterday is not exactly the straightest. I've decided that my crooked row can fit the most potatoes if I do a half row here to take up the space that my crooked row did, and then I can do 2 more rows next to it that are straight. Because my gay ass just cannot be trusted with doing straight lines. Oh my god, I have sweat in my eyeballs, but I did it. The potatoes are down. It took me a week, but it's done. And now all we have to do is wait until the first leaves come up, and then I will cover them with more soil, because with my crooked rows I have absolutely no idea where they're going to come up, so I can't make these little nice dunes on top of them. So I was going to put down the onions as well tonight, but I am this close to losing sunlight on the garden, which is going to result in an absolute horde of mosquitoes coming out from my blood. So, and also I'm really tired from digging the potatoes down. So I'm going to quit for the night and put down the onions hopefully tomorrow. And then I will be pretty much caught up with my planting. Spring is a really busy season in the garden. Now, throughout this video I have used both my period and chronic illness as examples of why I'm not feeling great and feeling low energy and stuff. And both of these are at play, and I'm going to, at some point when I have the time, make a video about all my chronic illness conditions and how they affect me. But that's going to happen when I'm not spending all of my free time planting things. But it is a sort of combined effect that happens when I'm starting my period, that I am just extremely weak and can't really get things done. And I really don't enjoy it, of course. It sucks quite badly because I always want to do things, and And because my periods are pretty irregular, I can't really predict when it's going to happen and how, like, and like, which means that I can't really plan around it. I can't plan that I'm going to do more stuff when I'm in a better place in my cycle. Like, even though I would love to do that, I am so like inspired by the people on social media who can plan to be more productive and to do so by planning it around their cycle, and that is amazing. I just wish I could do that. And in this video you sort of saw me push through the exhaustion that comes with it, but that does not always happen, and it is really super important to give your body the time to be all right, because it is so often that we feel the pressure from society to be super productive all the time, and like it is important to realize that our body simply cannot handle that all the time, and if we do try to push ourselves all the time, then that's just going to lead to burnout, which I have been in, and I guess I am slowly coming out of with my gardening endeavors and like sort of making time for myself and my hobbies. So what I want to be the takeaway from this video is that you don't have to push yourselves, and it is not really an accomplishment if you manage to do so, because what you're doing is taking energy away from future you, basically, because of pushing yourself harder than your body is capable of being pushed at the moment. So while I did manage to plant my greenhouse during an extremely low energy day and feeling like absolute crap on toast, it's not something to be proud of, because it was irresponsible considering my future health. Because it was irresponsible in the sense that my body cannot always be pushed like this without consequences in the future for my future chronic health issues. So don't do what I did. Pace yourselves. Even though it is not exciting to be lying down all the time and just resting, but rest is so important, and you can just scroll on TikTok or scroll on YouTube and just take time for yourself, because your health is one of the most important things that you have, and I have learned that the hard way. Yes. So while my chickens are dust bathing here, I am going to sign off for now. And thank you for watching.